So I promised you that today is the Periscope that's going to change the way you look at the reality, your reality, forever. So let's do that. It won't seem like it. All right, let me warn you again that whoever tells me my sound is bad, I'm going to start blocking you. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. I'm just going to block the people who say that, okay? Because I can't change it. It's exactly the same as every other time. Nothing's different. Okay. NBC has a story about Nick Bostrom's idea of the simulation, the idea that this reality could have been programmed by some other type of creature. And the idea is that maybe it was some human beings who created us as a simulation, maybe some other kind of alien, but it's the general idea that we're a simulation. And I want to start with that. We've talked about this a number of times, so I don't have to go into any detail about that. But the first thing I'd point out is that it's in NBC, and the number of people who are speaking of the simulation as a legitimate way to look at the world is increasing. Would you agree? There are more and more people who are taking seriously, as I do, the idea that we are a simulated reality, actually programmed. Now, if we're a simulated reality, there's some things that you would expect to see. One of those things you would expect is that not everybody in the simulation is real or based on real people. Because my guess is that if we created a simulation, we would, let's say if we were to do it today, if the people you see around you were to program a simulation of their own, that simulation would probably, because we have big egos, take on the personalities of the people creating the simulation. So there may be some people in the simulation who are based on some alien who was the author. And it would also stand to reason that those programmers would give some people a little extra resources, a little extra free will, if you will, a little extra ability to navigate the simulation. And I would suggest that there are a number of people who are alive today who have been spending much of their life looking for what I'll call the user interface for the simulation. Or to put it in more ordinary terms, people alive today who are looking for the levers to make life work best. What are the buttons you can push in this thing we call life to get the best result? Now, if it's true that there are some people who have been spending their life figuring out the user interface, and I'm going to talk about those people in a little bit, that you would imagine that those people could get results that would look unbelievable to the rest of you. In other words, if it's true that there are people who can author their own lives, they figured out where the buttons are, where the levers are, where the user interface has all of its hidden menus, you would see them doing things that just don't even seem possible. Is that true?